Who
Mhm.
has the overall ownership and responsibility for that? Is that the responsibility of the hiring company, the responsibility of the transitioning veteran coming into the world of private enterprise, or is it that a shared? Should that be? And I'm always of the latter of advocate of this. Should that be a shared responsibility? But that first initial initiation of, okay, who's going to make sure that this transition is smooth? Where does
Yeah,
responsibility?
it's absolutely both. You're right, Chris, it's shared. The company has a responsibility to make sure that the employee has the opportunity to learn their processes. But it's up to the employee to make sure they do. My first civilian job was with Raytheon, who they're all over the UK and of course the US. And when I went to work for Raytheon, they had a bunch of online training. I'm talking 50, 60, 70 courses. How we do Six Sigma, how we do Lean, how we do program finance, how we do, and but they didn't say, Bill, here's your curriculum. They said, here's a bunch of training, here's our entire training module website, learning management system. And if you want to train for this position, we recommend these courses, this equality, things like that. This position, we recommend these courses. Program management, we recommend these courses. But they didn't assign me anything. It was up to me. And I will tell you, boy, I started consuming those things like crazy. It was after hours and, over lunch and things like that. And I had peers who joined my company out of the military the same time I did. And I was 20 courses into all these things, this training program. And my peers, you really doing that? I don't think I need to do that for what I'm doing. And I said, I'm not training myself for what I'm doing. I'm
Yeah,
training myself for what I want to do, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
so that was my responsibility. And
It's
I think
really
the
interesting.
employer was
Sorry,
waiting to see who
well,
took the initiative. Go ahead.
what I was going to say, sorry to talk over, it's really, really interesting you say that because um, on Field Service News, we've got a series of courses. There's about 70 now. That are we call them the service leadership courses. And they're courses for those that have just come in from, because I've seen this problem from a mile away. Those that have come from that progression of being a service engineer, and you can be the best technical service engineer, and you can be great you can do all of those great things we expect from that profile we're talking at the top, and then you arrive in this world of management, and that first P&L lands on your desk. You have no idea what that means, and so our approach was exactly that, where we said, look, these are not course. This is not a module. This is not a course. This is not a curriculum. And these are not to replace your training that you have within your organization. These are like, right, it's 7 o'clock at night. I've got John and Erica butting heads. I've never had to deal with this kind of thing from a managerial point of view. I have to put them on the same work because their skill sets are exactly what we need in there. What do I do? And so we've got a course on managing conflict within the team. And the idea is it just gives you a 101 hour-long course. And it was designed exactly for that, right? To be a safety net to kind of troubleshoot. I've got to give a presentation for the first time. I've never done it, in front of my peers. What do I do? There's a course on how to give an effective presentation. What's really interesting though, Bill, is obviously I pay a lot of attention to, just from the kind of the marketing ownership and understanding how people interact with FSN. I pay a lot of attention to how those courses are used, and I see super users doing exactly what you just described, where they'll come in and go, right, that first course, they have a problem, and then it's, what else can I digest? And it is a small percentage, and a lot of people will be using it as and when they need it, which is kind of what it was designed for. But it's really interesting. There is that mindset of how can I improve myself.